ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। In this session, we'll be discussing from the 42nd verse of the 17th chapter of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Vrishasya nashtam strin padan tapashaucham dayamiti pratisandadha ashwasya mahim cha samavardhayat. The meaning of this verse is, thereafter, the king re-established the lost legs of the personality of religion, the bull, and by encouraging activities, he sufficiently improved the condition of the earth. So, this is Suta Goswami describing the result of Parikshit Maharaj meeting Kali Purusha and also meeting the personality of religious principles, Dharma, in the shape of the bull, and Mother Earth in the shape of a cow. And the punishment and reward of Kali, as is described in the title of the chapter, Kali was punished and Kali was also rewarded, because Kali surrendered when he saw that, Kali Purusha saw that his life is in danger. He completely surrendered to Parikshit Maharaj, and as is the religious principle, that a surrendered soul is never killed. So Parikshit Maharaj did not kill Kali Purusha. Instead, he gave him suitable shelter, because Kali Purusha surrendered and asked for shelter. So a surrendered soul seeking shelter, whoever he may be, is always given proper shelter by a righteous king, strictly following the principles of Dharma, like Maharaj Parikshit. So Kali was given 4 places in the beginning, and since there were no such places where in Parikshit's kingdom, where those 4 pillars of sinful life, Dyutam Panam Striyasuna, none of those activities were going on against scriptural injunctions in Parikshit's kingdom. So Kali Purusha asked for a 5th place, and he was given that place where gold is accumulated and kept for sense gratification. Because wherever there is gold, there are these 4 kinds of activities: gold kept for sense gratification, these 4 sinful activities, and in addition there will be enmity also. So Kali became gold standardized, as Prabhupada says in one of the previous purports. So then the damage done by Kali Purusha was set right, was corrected, and that is being described here in this particular verse. That the lost legs of the personality of religion were re-established. That is described here as tapashaucham dayamiti. The four pillars as they of dharma. Dharma stands on austerity, cleanliness, mercy and truthfulness. So in Satyuga all the four pillars of dharma were intact, and as vice was introduced in Treta Yuga, one of the pillars of dharma gradually got lost, and in Dwapar Yuga two pillars got lost, that is tapaha in Treta Yuga got lost, and shaucham got lost in addition in Dwapar Yuga, and at the beginning of Kali Yuga three are lost: tapa, shaucham and daya. And just Kali Yuga is about to begin, but Parikshit Maharaj, by taking appropriate steps, re-established those three lost pillars of dharma, and he also sufficiently improved the condition of the earth by encouraging activities. So Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport, what does this mean for present day people, we who are living in this Kali Yuga after about 5,000 years have passed? What does it mean for us? So Prabhupada says in the purport, by designating particular places for the personality of Kali, Maharaj Parikshit practically cheated Kali. In the presence of Kali, dharma in the shape of the bull and the earth in the shape of a cow, he could actually estimate the general condition of his kingdom, and therefore he could take at once proper steps to re-establish the legs of the bull, namely austerity, cleanliness and mercy. And for the general benefit of the people of the world, he saw that the gold stock might be employed for stabilization. This is a very, very important point. He took the steps to re-establish the proper steps to re-establish the legs of the dharma, namely austerity, cleanliness and mercy, and he also employed the gold stock that was kept without being used for Krishna's service, for devotional service. He used it for that purpose and thereby cheated Kali. Gold is certainly a generator of falsity, intoxication, prostitution, enmity and violence. But under the guidance of a proper king or public leader or a Brahman or sannyasi, the same gold can be properly utilized to re-establish the lost legs of the bull, the personality of religion. By itself, wealth or gold is not bad. The improper or proper utilization, that matters. How you use that gold is important. If you use it properly, you can use it to maintain or restore the lost legs of dharma. Or people may misuse it and further degradation sets in and the dharma becomes lost. So, Srila Prabhupada says specifically what did he do? Maharaj Parikshit therefore, like his grandfather Arjuna, collected all illicit gold kept for the propensities of Kali and employed it in the Sankirtan Yajna as per the instruction of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam says, in Kali Yuga, other types of yajna are not practical. In the Bhagavad Gita and all the scriptures, it is said, work should be done as yajna so that people don't become entangled in this material world. So there are varieties of yajna that one may perform, but in Kali Yuga, the most practical and the feasible type of yajna is Sankirtan yajna. So therefore, Parikshit Maharaj, like his grandfather Arjuna, he employed all the illicit gold kept for propensities of Kali. Illicit gold means gold that has been accumulated for sense enjoyment, that he utilized in Sankirtan Yajna, and that is a recommendation of the Bhagavatam. As we have suggested before, Prabhupada gave instructions in a previous purport that I read in detail, the 38th verse purport, which is very big. We covered it in 3 sessions, 3 parts, and there one of the recommendations Prabhupada had given, that once accumulated wealth may be divided into 3 parts for distribution, namely 50% for the service of the Lord. Lord means the Supreme Lord Krishna. 25% for the family members and 25% for personal necessities. So, dividing one's wealth, this for whom? Particularly for people who have lot of excess wealth than what is bare minimum required for keeping body and soul together. There are those who live by the principle that I will only take as much wealth as is necessary for the minimum, bare minimum necessities for maintaining this body while in the material world, because my main business will be simply to engage in Krishna consciousness. For such people, there is no need of any such division to be made, because they don't have wealth for dividing like this. But for those who are having excess wealth than what is minimum necessary, there is a way of dividing the wealth into 3 parts. What is that? 50% for service of Krishna, 25% for the family members, and 25% for personal necessities. Now, Prabhupada says, why 50% for the service of the Lord? Spending 50% for the service of the Lord or for propagation of spiritual knowledge in society by way of the Sankirtan Yajna is the maximum display of human mercy. This is actually a necessity for the human beings in the human society. Why? Because people of the world, meaning the human being, population of human beings, are generally in darkness regarding spiritual knowledge, especially in regard to the devotional service of the Lord. And therefore, to propagate the systematic transcendental knowledge of devotional service is the greatest mercy that one can show in this world. There's a need, especially in Kali Yuga. People are in ignorance, darkness of ignorance. So they do not know. When they do not know how to utilize their excess wealth, then what is bare minimum required? Then default will be use it for sense gratification. People become sinful and dharma is destroyed. Then everything is spoiled. The human mission is completely lost. Whereas if 50% of the excess wealth is spent for propagating Sankirtan Yajna, then it is the best use of the available excess wealth, and also it is the maximum display of mercy on the human society, So nobody will go astray from the path of Dharma. Everybody will utilize this human form of life for its real purpose. And everybody will be able to go back to Godhead, get out of this material existence so that no more there is any repetition of birth and death. I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.